and then hopefully somebody turns
Are
up.
live. I don't know where or what.
Is live
How this
is
works.
live recorded? I've never
I
gone
don't
live on
know.
YouTube.
That's another question.
What a
So
mess.
if you happen to be tuning in for some odd reason at this point in time, yeah, there we're live. Look at that. If
You
you
need to
happen to be
pull the
tuning in
studio up so you can see what's going on. I'll
for
link it in
some odd
here.
reason, I don't have. All right, just quick. Connor and I are deciding to do a thing with Rising Tide and how do you say your name again? No, I'm just kidding, Renata. Um, the look on your face when I said that, you were like, "Wait, what?"
Fucking Prime did it. We spent 20 minutes briefing him before a webinar, and he went, "So Ronaldo." I'm like, "Fuck, damn you."
We're trying to think. This is the very first one. Let's see how we do. We should probably post that somewhere.
I put it in the MSP Halo, the Halo community, and I'll put it on my LinkedIn now. And what you can do is try and figure out how we track if anyone's here or where we see comments or anything of the such.
There are 2 people in the studio
How
chat.
many?
There are no comments.
Okay.
No comments on stage. What does that do?
Should I have like a panel or something? So I'm about to see what's going on. I have no idea. This is so confusing.
I have backstage, and I have no idea what I'm doing with this thing. So like I can see and do a bunch of stuff. Oh look, Elzen. And she said, "Hi
Hey.
bros. Chat has been overlaid on top of your face, Connor." Get it,
Oh yeah. Hello.
This is great.
I'll sit over here like this.
Do you have access to present your screen, by the way?
Yeah, if I need to.
Cool. Elle says,
We haven't spoke about.
Sure.
We haven't spoke about what environments where we're going to be testing these things.
Are we actually testing stuff, or are we just talking about them? Like what?
We can
What's
just
the
talk
level
about
of
them. I mean, sometimes people might want to see what the hell we're talking about. Is what I was thinking. I mean, we don't even know what we're talking about. Is the reality? Elle's here. Is she here? Elle, are you here?
She's watching. She's not in StreamYard yet.
Can she hear me though?
She can hear you. Yes.
Elle gave us an agenda of what we're talking about, as in what release note. Do you know what that was?
Did she give us an agenda? She didn't even know what was happening today. We didn't tell her.
Al told me this was happening, and then, well, no, actually, no. Al was going to plan it all out, and we just booked a meeting and went with it.
Like, screw it,
That's
we're
what
just gonna go.
happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
What version should we start at? What do you want to start at?
You want to know something interesting, Connor? The new stable version of Halo. Do you know what that is?
196 in 2 weeks.
It's stable right now. It's in stable.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's been in release candidate. So it's been in release candidate for like about what, a month maybe? And it just went stable. Date released June 30th. So this is a very opportune time for us to talk about it, because we've got now like 10 versions or so that we can go through. What was the last stable version? It was like 184 maybe?
184, yeah. Let's start there.
So what are some of the new changes between 184 and 196, if you can think of any or remember any, because there's a lot that you're excited about.
The idea is we go and look through them. Although, to be fair, Robbie has just linked me something, which, no, let's go through this in order. Let's know what the hell we're doing. Let's get some structure. Let's start with, oh, my UI's bugged. I've got a big gap between 184 and 186. There we go, 188. Let's start from top to bottom, 2.188, and let's see if anything jumps out as us as super duper exciting. And then if we want,
can we see our screen? That's the question. I'm sharing a Halo instance currently.
Are you?
Oh, Ella's here.
We're highly trained professionals, by the way, on the yard of the stream and the
YouTube. We clearly know exactly what we're doing here. Add that to state. There we go. Look at that.
Oh,
figure something out.
Yes.
We have 4 viewers. I wonder if that's no, that's 5. We got 5 live viewers.
Wow. Welcome, friends, foes.
Huh. All right. Well, let's go through. So here's the release details, and as we can see, 196 was just recently made stable at this point, right? You can't see that because it's sharing. There we go.
Nice.
It's using the browser sharing, so it's sharing the individual tab. So when I open a new tab, that's good to know. It didn't switch with me. So here's stable. And if we go in order, 184 was the last stable version. What are some of the features here that we want to talk about?
Can you scroll to the top a second?
Yeah.
Oh, you're 186. 186. There we go. Okay. Added the ability to compare article amendment drafts. I mean, I don't care about that. I don't know if you're excited by that, Mendy.
I think if I was to nerd out, the most exciting thing here probably is the event management. And I don't even know if this was like introduced here. Let me just see what this is. Oh, yeah, this is kind of cool, but it's also really annoying. Here. This is the ability to update to run like custom webhooks, inbound webhooks based off of an event occurring from a monitoring platform. And then you can parse out details from the body and put them into tickets.
Yeah, we've not used the event management area at all yet. We'll always go to Runbooks. Do you use it for anything at all?
The event management, you're saying?
Yeah.
We're looking at doing it for some AVIC notifications. We can use Runbooks for it, which can do anything, but not every MSP has the ability to do a Runbook. And
I get it.
Event management is like an easier interface. We can just take you through that really quickly. If we go here, we would turn on event management. And it would just be a matter of literally just creating rules that say, let's say AVIC alert. We'd send the request here, right? And upon doing that, we can start tracking like what ID matches to existing tickets, so it can update the ticket instead of creating a new one. And then we can add like this is the same as the Runbook stuff, right? Like you basically put in the path from the object that matches to a specific input, and then I think we can say, yeah, here's criteria for the rule actually firing, and then we've got ticket creation, what type of ticket you want to create, and then you can map the value that we've defined here into the different types of fields if we want to, and so on. So it's kind of like a pre-built runbook for ticket creation that you just pop in the missing pieces and just use them over and over again.
Yeah, some of the updates that have been added in was before, if it would match on a ticket ID, it would always update it, iterate on it. Some of the updates they're saying now is you can now create a new ticket always as a flag. And there's a checkbox that appears, which is really nice now. It is now possible. It is now possible to match the ticket to the above entities. To do this, you must ensure where the value is found. Cool, fine. Yeah, we'll probably do a video, either you or me at some point, I assume, on how to set one of these up based on an inbound alert, basically. It's probably the best way to do it. Which is
cool. Like examples that we can do this for. So we don't have a lot of control over like the AVIC alerts that go out. So we have clients who are asking like, well, we want to set like an override priority or a specific thing for this types of alerts that AVIC is sending. Ninja can do some of this stuff too. Like we can have Ninja go to the monitoring events instead of the typical webhook. And the thing is, like any platform that allows for multiple notification channels, you can pass in the query parameters or in the object custom properties that you can then use to map like a specific category or a priority or whatever information you want. And that way, the tickets, like you would have the ticket creating based off of specific customized values for the different types of alerts that are generated. Can you hear me?
I can. Robbie's telling me that he can't chat, but I've just chatted, so I don't know if Robbie is just dense or...
I'm assuming that Renato Elegant Solutions is you and not Robbie, because that'd be really funny.
That is me.
Okay.
Maybe you need a YouTube account to chat, which would kind of make sense. Maybe that's it.
Maybe. Yeah.
Oh, he can do it. Okay, he's lying to us. Okay, thank you, Bobby. The chat area is pretty cool, by the way. So the one underneath the event management area. So the chat area, I've not played with this much yet. I like the idea of it. I think chatting with end users in the little modal in the bottom right is
annoying.
Taxing. Honestly, yeah, it's horrific.
Look at this. How many I have open?
Yeah, I just don't. I couldn't imagine actually trying to. So if you compare it to, I'm not saying this is an amazing platform, but Zoho, right? Their live chat has a nice little modal interface, and actually is, if you run a live chat company, is quite a nice experience. Halo, I've always tried to refrain from live chat because if you have any sort of volume, your entire right side window is dinging and shaking, if you will. They kind of wobble at you, and it's just horrific. So yeah, and this can be leveraged for Teams chat as well, I believe, this chat area in the middle, which might actually make it somewhat useful. Again, I've not played with it much though yet.
Here's the chat settings. It would literally just be this checkbox, right?
Enables show the chat area in config. Yeah, that's the one. The chat area shows chat conversations in a list or table. And then there is, yeah, that nice little area there. I think that is 1,000% better than what it was once before. Look at that. I like that. I like that. That's a nice little change. And I think as well, if you have, with the new ticket adjustments, I think you can have a tab on the ticket that looks similar to this as well. So that you have a chat in a ticket. It's like a modal.
Oh, interesting.
I think.
So if you haven't done this yet, like one of the things that we can do, we haven't really talked about this either. This was in like beta even before, like even in the last stable, it was technically in beta. But we can modify the interface to use the new version, which we actually are on, but we still have the tree like docked, and we're gonna turn this into a widget. And then the other thing that they added, which was those tabs you like brushed over, is going to be the multiple Halo tabs per browser tab, which you can now see like we've got this tabbed interface up here. And now instead of creating a tab every time I right click and open a tab, it's going to create a tab within Halo as opposed to a tab in the browser. So number one, it's cool because now I don't have to reshare every time I flip tabs. But two, it's kind of interesting that it tries to keep your browser to one window instead of creating like tabs and tabs and tabs of Halo. But it's still very, very new, and can be a bit, wonky at times, I guess is a good word.
I think a lot of people run Halo as an app as well, right? Which will massively help now.
This will definitely work really well running Halo as an app. Yep, exactly. What else? You said so on the new ticket interface, it would show the chat.
Yes, if you edit a ticket type, now I'll be honest with you, there's another 6,000 options to now configure on ticket types, which is utterly fantastic. Really and every ticket type can now be different. So for any consultant out there now, have fun.
Yeah. So I'm going to open up that ticket number here.
Yeah, let's see. We probably have to configure it though on the ticket type. We're also not seeing that, by the way.
What do you not? Oh, it opened a new tab. It opened a new browser tab. Okay, here's the ticket.
Yeah, so I think if we can we control the ticket type to show a chat area? Is that a thing?
I
don't know.
You reading release notes?
No, I'm just guessing from last time I looked at this over 5 beers. So let me pull up my Halo. Let me see if I can see any of the things. Is this on beta?
I'll be honest with you, I hadn't heard about being the chat being visible within the ticket type directly, like the same interface.
I could just be completely lying to everybody. I would not be.
It's what I do. It's completely fine. What do you feel about that trophy, huh? Agents can now be awarded a trophy.
Have you seen this? Have you played with this yet?
I haven't played with it, but I've seen where it's configured.
I'm pretty sure it's config advanced settings. You can enable a trophy. Then you can edit an agent, and you need to turn it on. You need to give someone in this build a trophy. I'll look for the chat thing later. If I'm gaslighting everyone, then I apologize.
Go to advanced settings and all.
I think it is in here. Control F trophy. Yeah.
All the way down. Agents with the Halo trophy.
Oh, you do it here. Yeah, I remember now. Yeah. Mendy.
And so I'll give myself the trophy because I obviously earned it. And so now if I'm looking at, where does it show? Oh, look. Oh.
Kind of everywhere where you exist, right? Oh, we can't see that, by the way. I think it's opened another tab again.
That's
oh, no, there we go.
Fantastic.
There's your trophy.
Look at that. It's on every agent assignment. And so if I'm looking at like Cassie, for example, and I go into her tickets and I pull up the assignment, like I can see the trophy.
Out of all the problems in the world that Halo could have fixed, I'm not sure where this ranked in their high priority list, but clearly it came up as a thing that needed to be done, or it was a condition of purchase, in which case even better. I need to go ask them, like, why does this exist? I think they're trophy obsessed though, because if you remember, maybe it's on the beta still now. They had this like table of like engineers ranking, and I was like, oh, how are they doing trophies? Fucking custom HTML next to the name. I was like, why are you obsessed with this trophy? Then this come out. I was like, oh god.
So that was
yeah, there you go. Hard hitting.
I don't know if we have like that dashboard on this build necessarily.
You'd have double trophies now on there.
Well, let's see if we can. Let me see if I can change my screen share to a different instance real quick. Let's see.
I'll keep going through these notes, see if anything of any importance stands out.
All right, here's a new Halo instance. And so this is what you're talking about down here.
Yeah.
Right? And it's kind of interesting because like the way this works is this is a report, just a simple report with a table. And they're ranking based off of total points. And so they're ordering by descending number of points. So whoever has the most amount of points is going to be on the top, and so on and so forth. And then what they did is inside the dashboard settings, if I flip to that real quick, service desk home screen, right? This one.
Yeah.
If I edit and configure this interface, what they've done is in the custom CSS, they've actually defined the first child as getting a specific trophy content. And then the second one is getting the other content trophy, and then the third one's getting that third trophy. And it's just changing the color each time of what that's going to look like. And that's how they did it, is because like it's going based off order of points. Yeah. The thing that's really bad though is the way these points are calculated.
Oh, it's a horrible report. Like you can never use this report. Like I remember a client was like, "Can you help us change this?" Like, what even is this even doing? I'm sure the points are like, what are they like? Just like complete utter garbage. Yeah, like a lot of these sections are basically all the same data sets, basically.
So yeah, exactly. So it's closed tickets without help times 3 is the number of points plus. So for every ticket you closed without help, you get 3 points, and for every ticket you closed with help, you get 2 points, and that's the total points that you have.
Well, no, here's the best bit. Closed without help and closed with help is the exact same SQL. Show me all tickets where the request type new is 1 and 3, where the note, oh no, where the cast note CRM, oh no, it's not. If you scroll up, or is it? Oh no, it is, isn't it? Did they scroll up for me? CRM note, no, it's exactly the same, isn't it? Yeah, exactly the same. Yeah, CRM, time with help, time with no help is the same SQL.
Yeah. Clear int is agent, right? Date cleared is the same. And you can see, like, notice the highlight. As I highlight up here, it highlights down here because it's the exact same string. So deleted is the same, request type new is the same. That's also the same as
without help. As
the only thing that's different. And so it's literally taking like the amount of content that you've closed, and it's going to give you both times 3 times 2. So the points are just not. Yeah, this is not a good thing. It's kind of funny. But we weren't here to like trash the dashboarding design.
No, it's a fantastic report. Everyone should leverage it to ascertain their trophy level of their stuff. 10 out of 10. So trophy is the name. Date filters have been amended. Have been added as automated ticket criteria. So that creativity uses a date cut off to ensure that all entries do not have tickets created for them. Okay, so that's actually super important. So we raised this recently. So if you make a automated ticket, and you say X number of days, for instance, the ticket could have been there before you made the rule, and it can go. And what we'll do is, if I could even fucking speak, it will basically go and backdate loads of automated tickets, even if you want it to work from moving forward. Is the long and short of it. So they've added the date filter now, so you can say as of this date forward, don't do it. I believe. Yeah.
Start date, end date.
Yeah.
It must be these two.
So start date would be like, I don't know, anything that started as of now or whatever. Yeah, we had a few clients who would they raised a few tickets. It's like, oh, it's making all these automated tickets. I'm like, oh yeah, it's because they've never had it before or whatever. So yeah, nice. Oh, it's been added to configuration users general so that the email addresses are enforced as unique. And then I was given attempting to create a duplicate. I wonder what's going to happen there with anything like inbound or anything. Like, is that going to?
Well, if the email already exists,
directly match.
Right?
Yeah,
but like the real question is, I mean, even when syncing, it should match on email address, right? If we're always matching on email address, it really wouldn't matter. It would mostly be like if you try creating manually 2 different users with the same email address, it'll just throw an error message. 10 years.
That says it's going to break something that we're not going to know about for ages. All I can see that coming out of that unique constraint is, oh, this is broken now.
Well, what I would recommend doing probably is turning it on as quickly as possible, because the longer it's off, the more likely it's going to cause something to break. Right? You'd rather get it turned on earlier, let it break as soon as it can if it's going to break, and then fix whatever is going to happen at that point, and then you're good once it's on, right? The idea is like the email address is technically your login for your portal or for your agent platform. Like you really shouldn't have duplicate email addresses within the platform.
And we see it a lot, right? We had a problem recently in our own build actually where a client managed to exist twice with the same email address. I think because there was an opportunity and we made them and there was like a duplicate entry. And then they were getting, sometimes they could hit the portal.
And then we convert that opportunity to client. Now you have 2 because you manually converted the opportunity. And we got already emailed.
We did something grim and we broke our own Halo, and the client was like, I've reset it 3 times, but I still can't log in. And because I think it hits the first ID of the user when you log into the portal.
Yeah.
But I was resetting like a lower ID or a higher ID if you want to look at it. Annual, monthly, and one-off opportunity values have been added as dollar variables. I've never used that, Mendy. I don't even know.
I don't know what you're reading at this point.
2186 82. Look, that's tiny. 828897. You've gone way far down, baby. Go up. Jump. Oh, you're way far down there. Top of your screen, that one.
Yeah. Annual, monthly, and one-off opportunity value has been added as available. Oh, this is going to be because...
I don't know what that is.
This must be like the potential value of the opportunity.
It
must be. Right?
It must be. We've both done this long enough now, Mendy, to know that statement is not true. Should it be? Probably. Are they going to be documented? Probably not either. Let's have a look.
I just hit the wrong button. I don't know what's visible now on the StreamYard, but everything cool.
Halo URL / variables for anyone who is wondering where your variables are stored. Annual opportunity. Annual value, potential value annual. Okay, brilliant.
I was right.
Yeah, potential value times. Well, I wonder what it's doing. Is it just going to times it by 12?
It off the quote. It must be pulling it off the quote.
Oh, you're saying quote here, or are you doing opportunity as in a opportunity ticket type?
So when you have an opportunity ticket and you have a ticket of the opportunity ticket type and you put a quote on that opportunity ticket type, the potential value of that opportunity gets updated to the final value of that quote. Like every time you update the quote, the potential value gets updated off of the opportunity. And so what it's probably doing is it's probably referring to the quote to pull the recurring or one-off values.
So it will only work if you have a quote and the opportunity value. Yeah, so it will only work if you've got a quote potentially, and we can try it.
Unless they've added other potential value fields on the opportunity. Yes. If they've added all those fields as opportunity fields as well, then we can manually specify the value during initial creation. And then as you get the quote, it updates it. It should be fairly easy to tell under sales, opportunity types. You just go to opportunity, go to field list. And
no, they're fields.
They are fields? Okay, perfect.
They're fields.
That's even better.
Value. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, but, oh, well,
then
it
depends. We can specify them. It'll still update from the quote automatically.
Yes.
It still does that. So having the ability to specify them manually one time is, your initial creation is a good thing.
Let's validate the update on the quote. Give me a second. I'm testing over here. I mean, you can feel free to test, do what you like.
This message. I don't know if you guys have been getting this message sometimes. If you have an older instance, there was a time when Halo wasn't validating that the settings that you were saving were actually valid for use. And so now it does that. What it's basically telling you is that if you have a status selected for a specific function, and that status is not allowed in the allowed values table, then you can't save the ticket type. So all you have to do is look at what it's telling you is the error, in this case, end user update. We'll see end user update is set to customer updated as a status, and then we can go to the allowed values and notice that we do not have customer updated in the allowed values list. And so we'll just go ahead and put that in, and now suddenly we can hit that save button.
If your Halo is from a beta version or a trial version, you will find this on most ticket types as an issue.
It's I usually see it on project tasks, and I haven't seen it on opportunities before. But this is a really old instance.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
We saw it the other day on loads of ticket types, like all the built-in like hardware and software request ticket types. We found it on, I think, all of those. I was just trying to can them off to hide them out of sight. What was I doing anyway? I was testing this opportunity to make sure it tracks from the quote. Over here. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 6, 7, 8. Submit. Fine. That's all of that. Allow actions. Raise a quote.
You know, we haven't even gotten past the first version after this table. We're still on 186.
And now you see why I stopped doing release note videos, Mendy, because they took me so long to do. I had to go parse through all of these notes. Robbie then, bless him, had the task of then documenting them for me so I could script it. I had to put videos together in less than an hour without people fall asleep. And then I'm like, oh, I've done 4 of them. And Halo are developing quicker than I can get a video out on them. That's why I gave up. I just can't keep up with the cadence of it. We're getting through some of it, though.
Let's jump to 188 for a second. What do you feel about this feature request?
What? You can't do that. Think of the people watching. Their heads have all just fallen off. I'm sorry. That means everyone in here, I don't know. Sorry, Jason. There you go. Look. 188. What are we looking at? What are we talking about?
Feature
Add a module to track ticket volumes logged per type and source. Added a module. A module. What does that mean?
A module is those things that you turn off and on. It's a forecasting module.
It is a forecasting module.
It is indeed a forecasting module.
Ticket volumes located in the reporting module.
Yeah. So do you want to see this in action, actually?
I'm not sure I do, to be honest. I mean, the forecasting module is utter trash in Halo. So if they've leveraged that current, I mean, it has been updated here, so maybe it's better. But it's updated.
New forecasting module to predict future volumes.
Well, they've already got forecasting module on the timesheet.
That's just a functionality of a ticket type. It's not a module.
Oh, okay. Get pedantic with words now. I see how it is.
Here, let's look at this. This is.
They put a button on it.
This is our live production Halo instance. So I need to be careful. All right.
Oh, pull up not a live production environment.
This is a forecasting module, right? So inside here, we can create essentially a forecasting metric, I guess is the best way to put it. And so we're like measuring the amount of opportunities that we get on a weekly basis to be able to predict how many opportunities we're going to continue to get each week, give or take. And we can see like this is how much information it's getting based off of what we specified here. And it ties into a couple things. Under reporting, I think we have ticket volumes. So we actually tell it like which ones to track. as far as which ticket volumes to track of each type. And then we also have, under integrations, there's the GPT, time GPT integration. It's literally just an API key. And that's what the forecasting model uses to generate. And so the idea is, like, it'll just track, like, what your ticket trend is likely to be over time. I haven't spent a lot of time on it. I don't really understand all of it fully. And I'm not sure how I feel about Nix TLA. I don't even know how to say that, but that is an NIXTLA.
I never even heard of it. Okay.
And so that's how it works. You can play with it.
I mean, I've recently written for one of our clients a report similar to forecasting, right? So looking at essentially point in time. So what have we done this year based on the number of staff we have, the number of agents, whatever, right? The number of tickets we've got, number of clients is very challenging to do. So if it can do it well, hats off to it. But I don't know what data sets it's looking at. Is it looking at the number of customers you've got? Is it looking at the number of agents you've got? I don't know. Does it say in there?
It's very basic still. And it says, it looks like it allows you to configure tracking of inbound tickets logged data, which is grouped on an hourly basis. You can configure specific ticket types and sources to be logged to the historical ticket volumes table. It'll run a query every hour to count the number of tickets logged for the configured ticket types and sources and record this as a row in the table. This is run for the previous hour, each hour when enabled, data source for each seat. And then the forecasting will allow you to predict future volumes for a data set. At this point, it's literally, the data set's literally just historical ticket volume data table over a given frequency and horizon. For example, you can predict the next 7 days of inbound tickets for each hour. You can predict the next 12 months of inbound tickets by each month. The model does require the Nix TLA time GPT integration to be configured by supplying an API key. Data is sent to the time GPT API to be processed and predicted. No PII is sent. And then you can augment your historical data with events. An event is a period of time marked as something that would influence the inbound volume. For example, a public holiday or marketing drive. That's kind of cool. It's going to be marked against your historical data and added for the future, so the model can take the previous historical data into account for an event that's going to happen in the horizon of the forecast. This will probably give you more accuracy around that area. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, the problem is, though, that assumes that you're the same size and everything as you were this time this year as you are to next time, right?
It's looking at growth over time, so it's able, like, because it's seeing everything over time.
Yeah, volume over time. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, okay. I pick up that.
It's still very basic, but it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, the report we wrote was super hard, and I didn't really trust it anyway. I ended up going, you should really BI your data to try and get some better insights. But if it works, then that is yeah, sick, I guess. Oh, you can add sleep steps to Runbooks. That's the thing in 188.
Yes.
You were super stoked to see that the other day.
Although the way it sleeps is a little.
Just say you were super stoked and moved on. It's amazing. You can sleep. Let's just do it.
I used it. I used it a lot already.
What else have we got? Anything cool in here? To-do groups can now be linked to customers. I mean, to-do groups are kind of horrible, but having a relevant to-do group for a client could be handy. If there's like nuanced things for like onboarding or offboarding, having a nuanced to-do group for a client is, handy.
Dynamic SQL custom fields can now be used in ticket actions as opposed to only ticket fields or whatever.
Dynamic SQL custom fields can now be used in ticket actions. Ticket actions. I thought they could be used in ticket actions.
I think they were broken, honestly. Or, this will be exciting for those who are on Xero, is that you can now use automatic sales tax results from Xero. Previously, that wasn't allowed.
Does that require any Avalara config?
No, it uses Avalara is built into Xero, and so it uses Xero for the Avalara setup. Like, as long as your Xero is doing automatic sales tax correctly, it's kind of like QuickBooks Online AST.
Invoice line must be synced to Xero with the Avalara tax code and invoice updated. Webhooks must be enabled. Okay. Invoice updated.
Xero has a tax code built in called Avalara, so you want to make sure that's your default tax code. And then your webhooks configuration, I don't have Xero set up, but you basically have 4. You've got customer created, customer updated, invoice created, invoice updated. for Xero. QuickBooks has like payments instead of invoice updated, but it's just that checkbox turning it on, which is on.
I'll just, can I take over quickly to show the people? Show the people.
Go for it.
Share my screen. What screen? Window. Oh God, so many windows. What window is it? This one here. Get windowed. Can we see this?
I can't see anything yet, but I probably have to switch you. How about this? I need to remove this and put that on. There we go.
Hey, there we go. So yeah, invoice updated and the webhook config needs to be enabled, which basically says to me, I'm assuming it will work in the same way as QBO, where you post to Xero, then it will spit back the tax when it updates, is hopefully what's going to happen there. And you can always check it in inbound logs, and you'll be able to see in your log. Be careful what I'm leaking here. Production build.
I didn't show my Xero.
Yeah, it's too dangerous. So yeah, then you can. It's fine. Then you can. It will show you what's updated with it. I'm going to close this build before I get into trouble with someone in my team. So yeah, I was actually, since I'm here, I was just updating this workflow, which someone in my team is going to shout at me for as well. On the.
Is it doing the quote reminder action or something else?
Yes. No, I wanted to do the annual monthly opportunity. Where the hell is quote? Do I not have?
You don't have an add quote button? Create quote?
Raise quote. There we go. There we go. I know how my own Halo works. What are you on about? Okay. So if we have one of these, I can set this down here. 111 222 33333. I can then raise a quotation. I can do some things, add some products. This won't help me too much. I need a recurring product. Assume this is recurring. Nope. Can I do recurring in here?
So Connor,
they are recurring.
Robbie called out a feature in chat about the user client direct link that was added to 188. And in this case, we've got essentially the ability to tie user directly under a client, which then allows you to put a site under multiple clients, according to the release notes. I don't really understand the point of that. And I was wondering.
Do me that again.
Robbie called it out. I was wondering if you guys had discussed it, or if we should try to drag Robbie up here to talk it through.
We discussed many things. Well, let's one step at a time. Let's make sure this works. I've done the quote, updated the values. The quote links to this ticket, and it hasn't updated any of these.
It should have updated at least the potential value, which it hasn't.
Nothing.
That's weird. Oh, maybe send the quote and then it updates it?
Send the quote.
I don't know what the actual trigger is.
Wow, look at this. This is old school Renader, baby. This is back in the day.
Just sending it some random on Microsoft.
Yeah, it's our dev account. It's fine. Oh, I can't send from this mailbox. Brilliant.
Where you're from. Show your home address on the 3 dots and then change your mailbox that you're sending from.
Oh, yeah, I've only got one.
That. Okay.
Oh, it's sent.
That's so weird.
This bill, by the way, is completely screwed for anybody. There's a setting in opportunity config, you dingus. All right, Bobby, calm down. It's warm today. Sales opportunity. Where are we going?
Values.
Opportunity, profit and value CRM is linked to the quotation.
There we go.
Where are you telling me, bro?
Right there. You're literally right there.
Oh, I'm on it here.
Uh-huh.
Profit and value, the CRM is linked to the quotation. Good.
It was on by default. How do I not? Look, I've never seen that setting, or actually never bothered to look at it.
Well, the problem you've got with this build is I completely screw with it all the time. Is this going to update ticket? Let's have a look-ski over here. Not yet.
I'll have to make a change to the quote. I'll have to go make another change to the quote.
Edit. draft, not sent, save, edit. These, go. Yeah.
Look at that.
Changed stuff. There we go. Happy days. It all works. 10 points to Halo. So just to clarify what this message we've talked about there, for anyone watching, there is a setting now in 186, was it?
186, yeah.
Annual, monthly, and one-off opportunity values have been added as variables. Basically, what you can do now on a ticket, if you want to. Do you think you'd need the field there on the ticket? I'd imagine so.
I think the field has to be there, yeah, for the API, because otherwise the API won't return the value.
You can add in these 3 fields now. So potential value, annual, monthly, and one-off. And if you go over to the variables page, you can then see that you've got opt value, annual, monthly, and one-off, which you could then send. I don't really know what you'd use them for, to be honest, but if you're emailing the client, you could tell them what the one-off or the annual or the monthly would look like, I guess.
Well, it's meant for forecasting of sales. That's what it's for. So you want to be able to tell like how much recurring revenue you're going to be getting, how much one-off revenue, like hardware and whatnot.
Right? It was a variable, though. What would you use it for?
As a variable, probably nothing. But as a field,
field's cool. I love the field. The field's fantastic. Yeah. It's great, and it means when we're doing
right now. Actually, if we did like a summary of a quote, like on the PDF template, if we wrote a quick summary, a breakdown of like a review of what was on the quote, we would have to do it as a report. With the variables, we can include them without having to do a report. Like we have done custom reports, which does like a nice, like pretty summary of what the breakdown of the quote is, like after or before the full line items. But yeah, I guess there would be a way to do that without having to do that report. That's interesting.
I like it. Oh, this made me laugh, by the way, since we're here. Added a 10-year schedule period
I saw that. I was like, what the heck?
I emailed Halo. I was like, why the hell is that? I was like, someone wanted it. I was like,
you know why? You know why it's there?
Like
it's because they can start counting down the 10 years from the time when they can start accepting outside money.
You'll just see Paul, like, we've got a report, 10 years, whenever we can sell. Yeah, someone wanted this for something. I mean, I struggled to schedule past like a week in front of me. Like the thought of 10 years for me is a period in the future to do something, to me, is just completely outside of my realm of understanding. Like, it's never going to happen for me. But if you're doing that, fair play.
Yeah.
I've not been working much longer than 10 years, to be honest. So, yeah, but that's it. That's faith in your product, though. When you're adding 10-year windows like that, that's when you know your customers are staying with you. Anything else, Mendy? You can end on a final, or do you want to talk about Robbie's thing? Do you want to end on that?
I don't. He messaged me privately, and it doesn't sound like he has a really good use case for it, or I'm just not buying what he's selling me. Which
engineer will be with you in 2032. I like that, Jason.
Yeah, to use it as like a stock location under multiple clients. So you can put track stock under the client, but the site doesn't exist. Like there's no way to separate those stock under that client. Like it doesn't. I don't know. I don't get it.
Where was it? Let me pull up his notes. A user can now be associated directly with client record. Brilliant. Directly with a client record without the client being implied through the user's site.
Mm-hmm. So there's a hierarchy in Halo that exists right now. You've got, top level client has a site, every site has a user. In this case, they're saying you don't have to put the user under a site. The user can go directly under the client. And then sites, if you do that, sites can now exist under multiple clients. I actually have to drop. I have another call. I am
with related users, can't you? Oh, that's a single user can be at multiple sites. Yeah. You go to the call. It's been a pleasure.
Joining. It's been a pleasure. We'll do this regularly, maybe. Right? We'll get it back on the calendar again.
We will do it regularly with some idea of what the hell we're doing. And we can plan it and stuff.
Okay. Bye, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Peace. Have fun, everyone. Goodbye.
All right. I'll see you, Connor.
Hi, we're still live. I don't know how do we stop being live?